Well, welcome again to my studio. Again, it's in the back of my house. It's a small space, but a lot of professional equipment. It's a really cool atmosphere to work in. I do a lot of songwriting, a lot of demos. I've done some full album type stuff, but it's a small space. You got to put the drums in the living room, which my wife loves, not, and stuff like that. So I try and get things done quickly if I do those kind of things. But for the most part, I do a little bit more of what they call just prep work for albums, just the ideas, click tracks, song ideas of vocals. This particular step, and again, I know there's musicians out there, you might enjoy just seeing how I develop this song, but you're probably used to the whole process. And then there's those who were asking who probably never step into a studio, so this is kind of a new thing for them. But basically, this is step 2 and 3 in the process, because step 1 was just showing you the song idea that Jim brought that was great. We got that into an idea that we want to really keep. And our next step in the process is making sure we have the tempo that's going to feel right for the song. So what we do is we create a click track. And I mentioned that last time maybe, and it's about just this constant beat that keeps going and gives strength for everybody who's going to play along with it afterwards. Drummer, bass player, the whole shot. But basically it starts out with me on guitar and vocal playing over this click track to give the band something not only solid as far as timing, but also something solid as far as the feel of the song and the emotion and stuff that I'm trying to portray, so they can play along with it and pull up some of that out of their instruments. So the click track is important. We need that timing element to make sure things are solid. Now, I'm not going to turn the screen, turn the camera to the screen yet. I'll do that in a little bit. But for now, I'm just going to play the sound, and it'll play the click track for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that. I think you should be able to hear that. And then the next thing will come in fairly shortly is you'll start hearing the guitars and my vocal pop in it at some point. How that click track is just keeping me solid, playing along with it. So then when the rest of the musicians come in, they can be solid as well. Right. So we've got a really good solid feel going on here. We've got a really good idea happening because of what Jim wrote. And now we've created a really good tempo, I believe, that's going to fit well for the whole band. Obviously, we've messed around with it in rehearsal just to get a feel and an idea too. But then we bring it in here and we solidify it a little bit more. Next thing I'm going to do, which is going to require me to move this around a little bit. So again, this is only my first time going through these things, so the video blogs. So be patient with me. I am going to have to set up a couple of things. And as I turn it, let me draw it in closer to the screen. Now here's the screen that I use. It's a recording program called Samplitude that I like to use. It's out of Germany. Really kind of cool setup. And what I want to do is, you're seeing one part of it. I'm going to bring this all the way to the end. My desire is to figure out what the next parts are. For me as a vocalist, I want to figure out what kind of cool background vocal ideas can we come up with. And what I ended up doing was creating this whole thing at the end of the song that will be, pieces of it will be used during the chorus earlier in the song. But right now I've got this really, what I like, I think it's a really cool idea happening with all these vocals. And we've got like 6 vocalists in the band, so we should be able to cover a lot of this because some of these are doubled. That means we just did them twice, for those, again, who don't understand all the bizarre things that come out of musicians' mouths. This basically means I sung them twice so that there would have an extra quality to them, a stronger quality to them. So anyways, we've got this going on, and let me move it a little bit closer even, and you can see kind of a rough view. It's not perfect, but hey, we're figuring it out as we go. You can let me know if you like this too, but I really like the idea that I came up with for the vocals. This is only one part of that, because now we're arranging. Now we're figuring out Where does the lead guitar come in? Where does the drums come in and out? What kind of things do we want the drums to do? What kind of things does the bass player do? When does the bass player sit back and just hold up that low end? Or when does he come out and he plays something kind of cool himself? We're figuring out all these kind of things. And then maybe what other instruments do we want? Where does the percussion fit in against the drums? All those kind of things. So those are the next bunch of steps. But meanwhile, this is step 3. Step 2 was click track tempo and laying down that solid rhythm and vocal for the rest of the band to follow. Now step 3 for me is figuring out some of the vocal ideas, and then we move on to the other parts. So here, you can let me know if you like this after you hear it, but meanwhile, let me just show you what I came up with.
Now I'm free. Here you go. Seeing my winter wonderland, hanging out with my old kind, with everything in quicksand. Turns out I was only snow. Seeing my winter wonderland, hanging out with my old kind, with everything in quicksand. Turns out I was only snow. Seeing my winter wonderland, hanging out with my old kind, with everything in quicksand. Turns out I was only snowblind.
And then you hear the click at the end as well, because again, you need to click for everything. Let me pull this back so you can see me a little bit better. But that's the idea, and I don't know. I like the vocal on that. I might keep my lead vocal and just let the rest of the band pull in on the background vocals. They obviously have got to take these and learn them if they like them as well. So that's the goal. This is step 2 and 3. We'll move on to another step later. Plus, we've got other things that I'll share here and there. But I just thought this would be kind of fun for you. Thanks for visiting my studio. I'm glad that I could invite you in for a little bit, and talk to you later. Thanks.